It is now my great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker. As I said earlier, USC sits in the heart of Los Angeles Unified School District, and leading that district is Michelle King, who was named superintendent just this last January. Michelle, I'm happy to point out, is also a current student in Rossier, having just completed her second year of our 3-year EDD program in educational leadership. I don't believe we've ever featured a keynote speaker, commencement speaker, who was simultaneously a student. But let this be an example to all of you out there that we are always learning, even when we have attained the highest levels of leadership. Michelle is the first woman to lead Los Angeles Unified School District in 80 years. She has spent her entire career with the district, beginning in 1985 as a life sciences teacher at Porter Junior High School in Granada Hills. In 1997, she became an assistant superintendent at assistant principal at Alexander Hamilton High School in Castle Heights, and eventually took over as the principal there. She went on to serve in the district as an assistant superintendent in Health and Human Services, chief instructional officer for high schools, senior regional administrator, and chief of staff to the superintendent, head of operations, and most recently as chief deputy superintendent under 2 former LAUSD chiefs, John Daisy and Ramon Cortines. So please help me welcome to the podium Michelle King.
Thank you very much, Dean Gallagher. Good afternoon, students, proud family members, devoted friends, and distinguished faculty. It is my true honor to be here today celebrating the members of the class of 2016 on their monumentous achievement. Congratulations to you, graduates. The specialized knowledge and expertise that you have acquired and the diploma you are receiving today will position you to make profound and lasting changes in the world. You are embarking on a career in which you will have an opportunity each day to make the lives of others richer and filled with possibility. For some of you, this will mean inspiring young students to work hard and dream big so they gain admission to competitive colleges. For others, it will mean guiding students through a positive college experience so they can take on the world after they graduate. And still for others, it will mean leading and training fellow educators to improve instructional practices throughout an organization. Whatever role you play, you will be in the business of making children smile, eradicating poverty at its root, and making dreams come true. You will touch the lives of people who will in turn touch the lives of many others. The ripple of your impact will be felt across the world. I believe there is no calling more significant than the career path you are about to pursue. You enter this field with a diploma from one of the nation's finest universities and top training grounds for educators. The School of Rossier has earned a world-class reputation for its pioneering efforts to enrich the lives of students in urban areas locally, nationally, and globally. I know firsthand the outstanding support and high caliber of education that USC provides because I am currently completing my doctoral degree from this great institution. Yes. As a fellow Trojan, I know what it means to work hard, study late into the night, and do whatever it takes to make it to the finish line. I also know, as someone who has worked in urban education for over 30 years, that educators are constantly evolving and adapting their practices to prepare students for an ever-changing world. And I know that we have now arrived at one of the most critical and exciting times in history. We have created advanced social networks that allow us, with the simple push of a button, to access information and opinions from across the globe. This has opened up wonderful new avenues for learning, but it has also required students to become more critical consumers of information. We also live in a time of increasing diversity. We have our first African American president. Yes. Same-sex couples now have the right to marry. And cities throughout America are becoming more and more ethnically diverse. At the same time, we face challenges that are acutely complex and significant. These include global terrorism, climate change, and rising economic inequality, just to name a few. Students must have a new set of skills in the 21st century to take advantage of the opportunities and face the challenges that await them. To prepare these students for success, educators need to rethink what is meant to be a leader. This afternoon, I'm going to share 3 ideas about what it takes to lead successfully in today's ever-changing world. First, educational leaders in the 21st century need to be entrepreneurial. As industries become more complex and technology-driven, they are increasingly reliant on employees who can think abstractly and take initiative. The Common Core state standards have adapted to this landscape, requiring our schools to teach critical thinking, creative problem solving, and communication skills. The best way to help students develop these skills is for educators to be innovative and entrepreneurial themselves. Author James Baldwin wrote, "Children have never been very good at listening to their elders, but they have never failed to imitate them." If we stick to what is comfortable and teach the same way every day, students unwittingly adopt the same rigid mindset in their approach to problems. But if we dream big and think creatively, we tacitly grant students the freedom to do the same. Being a creative educator in today's society requires an entrepreneurial mindset. Advances in technology have led to a seemingly endless array of incredible new learning tools. Students can now witness the wonders of faraway lands on virtual reality devices. They can build and program robots out of Legos using tablet computers and Bluetooth technologies. And they can take online courses that adapt in real time to the learning needs of each individual student. These and many other amazing resources are readily available. As educators, we must be enterprising and resourceful enough to seek out the best tools and get them into the hands of our students. As entrepreneurial mindset also allows us to envision and create more specialized learning environments. Next year, the LA Unified School District will open a landmark academy that integrates the learning of gifted students and gifted students with autism. This environment will help students embrace and cultivate their unique talents, preparing them for success in the 21st century. Every day, I encourage leaders in our district to develop innovative programs such as these. Today, I challenge you as well to be entrepreneurial educators and try things that have never been tried before. Keep dreaming high, and your students and fellow educators will follow. Along with being entrepreneurial, educators of tomorrow need to also be flexible. Students today use different learning tools than they did 30 years ago. Gone are the days when many children fed their curiosity by checking out books from the local library or consulting adults. Most students today simply pull out their smartphones and search the web. Some of us might raise concerns about the unsupervised flow of information our students can access, but we cannot ignore it. As time pushes on, students are only becoming more immersed in technology. Educators need to embrace this reality and evolve alongside it so we can teach students how to access and navigate the digital world. The manner in which students express themselves is also evolving. Just as the printing press and the pen once caused societies to shift from oral traditions to written documentation, technology is now ushering in a transformation from written documentation to interactive watching, speaking, and listening. Educators must stay on top of these trends and adapt to the times to ensure that our lessons are aligned with the skills that students need in an ever-changing world. Another reason we need to remain flexible is because schools, community, and offices where we work are becoming increasingly diverse. We can only succeed in a diverse environment if we adapt our leadership styles to the unique backgrounds, talents, and needs of the people we support. A one-size-fits-all approach will no longer work. In the LA Unified School District, our students speak a total of 94 different languages, and they travel a variety of paths to arrive at schools. Some students come from families that have lived in Los Angeles for generations, while others recently escaped harrowing conditions in their home country to travel alone to the United States. Our educators must adapt their practices to serve students from all walks of life. The increasing diversity is true not only for students, but also for our workforce. In the early 1980s, less than 40% of LA Unified teachers and school-based administrators were people of color. Today, more than 60% of teachers and more than 70% of school-based administrators are people of color. And our district is seeing more and more women rise in the organization. In this increasingly diverse environment, the ideal leader is no longer someone who has all the answers. The ideal leader is someone who can collaborate with others, synthesize diverse perspectives, and adapt to the changing dynamics of a team. Again, the one-size-fits-all approach will no longer work. Remaining flexible will. In addition to being entrepreneurial and flexible, educators, leaders in the 21st century are called upon to redefine the public's perception of urban education. Too often, urban communities are regarded as places where students struggle and schools trail behind the rest of the country. So let's think for a minute about whether urban school districts really trail behind. Urban districts contain some of the most richly diverse populations in the country. And with diversity comes a continuous focus on the best ways to serve students from different backgrounds. When LA Unified observed disparities in suspension rates among student populations, we became the first district in California to ban suspensions for willful defiance, which significantly increased the time students were in class. Other districts followed suit, and this practice soon became state law. When President Obama created a program to allow certain undocumented immigrants to remain and work in the United States, the LA Unified School District created a centralized online system that current and former students could use to access documents needed to establish eligibility. This system has since been modeled by school districts across the country. And when the needs of transgender students came to the forefront of our conversations on diversity, we opened one of the very first gender-neutral bathrooms. It is only a matter of time before communities throughout the country will tackle this issue, as we have recently seen with the proclamation from President Obama. Far from trailing behind, urban school districts are trailblazers for the rest of the country. The diversity that has defined and strengthened urban communities for decades is quickly spreading across the nation. As diversity becomes the norm, more and more school districts are looking to diversity veterans like Los Angeles for guidance on effectively managing the opportunities and challenges that come with their new landscape. So graduates, you are on the forefront of progress. With a degree from the USC Rossier School of Education and an understanding of the complexities of urban education, you are prepared to disrupt the status quo, defy society's expectations, and shape the future direction of education. I applaud your commitment to taking on the most significant challenges that face our schools. In doing so, you will be helping to form a bridge between the belief that all students can succeed and a world in which they actually do. I can't wait to hear about your amazing accomplishments. Congratulations again, graduates, and fight on.